In our last project, we did a C minor chord, so we're ready to continue along on our scary song project. And we're not going to use instruments, drum machine, voice, guitar, or bass. We're going to browse these loops. So I've got a brand new project here, and I want to call your attention to two things. One, this whole menu that opened up on the right, and two, this area where it says key and the beats per minute. The key hasn't been defined yet, although we're going to want to put this in C minor so that we can play and start adding all of these samples in, and they'll stay in our key, and then we could play our C minor chord over them when we need to. And this beats per minute thing. More on that in a second. Let's go into packs. You can scroll through all of these packs and find really interesting, very cool sounds. To make your way through this stuff, they have a genres and a characters search filter. So I can go into something like dark, and I can choose anything in here to get started. Here's one called Witch House. Creepy samples, dark synth pop lead melodies. Sounds great. So I'm going to open that up and click on it. Now, notice that a lot of these are in C minor anyway. If I scroll through, there's all kinds of cool stuff in here. Fortunately, they are in C minor, and you can sample any of them. So let's say I like that one. Let's say I want to use that one. I'm going to drag it on over and just pop it right in. Now watch what happens to the key and the beats per minute. Boom. It changes to C minor and 90 beats per minute. That's really important. I'm going to delete that and choose something else. Note that the key is already C minor and already 90 beats per minute. So I'm going to drag this in. It's in a different key and different tempo. But when I drag it in, it's going to be pitched down because I've already set the key of C minor. So it's going to change it when I go into the editor. You'll see that it's pitched this down so that it plays in the key of C minor, and it agrees. So if this is the sample that you want to play with, you need to make sure that you manually set your key to C minor before you start flying in different samples. Anyway, I'm going to go back. I liked that the Witch House stuff. So I'm going to go back to that, and I'm going to grab this ritual bass too. I'm going to put that in. So along with that, I'm going to pop in that organ that I had earlier. So I'm going to add a track. I'm going to go to Instruments. And here's my C. Let's see how that sounds, my C minor chord, right along with maybe it should be an organ sound. Doesn't need to be organ though, does it? Maybe I should try vibraphone. That's actually not bad. What if I started with that sound down here? And then looped it. That sounds great. So I need some drums now too. You can use the search engine over here. Just type drums. So that sounds kind of creepy. So what if I grabbed this drums 3? Now notice that it's at 72 beats per minute. My tempo is set at 90 beats per minute. So I am hoping that when I drag this over, it stays at 90 beats per minute. So I'm going to drop it in. And here we go. And it works. So now I've got some bass, I've got chords, and I've got a cool drum part. I'm also going to need some special effects. So there's a really cool pack in here. So go to packs and check out risers and transitions. So we've got all kinds of sound effects to link our sections together. I'm going to find something subtle, some sort of build. That's kind of neat. So what if I drag that in and had that build up, and then I'll use one of these impacts and drop it there. So now I'm going to start with my spooky, scary vibes on my C minor chord for 4 bars, and I'm going to build. I'm off to a pretty good start so far on my scary project. I want to show you one other way to add sound effects. I'm going to go into Instruments again, and I'm going to choose Instrument. And under Instruments, just like you can choose a piano or a guitar, you can choose Special Effects. So Special Effects here have all these interesting sounds. You can choose a Special Effects pad or the Scary Sounds pad. So we've got all sorts of cool things in here. In order to record these, notice that there's a little letter attached to them. So if I want this one, I just start recording at the beginning, hit record, and then type the letter G. And I've got it. I can use any of these. That's cool. Little vocals. Let's throw that in there. I just have to type the letter B after I record. Okay, I'm going to work on this a little bit, and in the third video, I'm going to show you what the form should look like for your spooky, scary song project.